Some desert cities in America promise year-round sunshine, no snow days, and cool weather in January. They'll show you glossy brochures with palm trees and golf courses, swear you'll never miss winter again. See, while everyone's fantasizing about endless summers, a harsh reality is playing out in America's sun-baked cities. Places where affordable housing means nobody wants to live there, and air conditioning becomes your new idea of fresh air. Today, we're diving deep into America's desert cities to separate the Instagram-worthy oases from the affordable hellscapes, from economic wastelands disguised as retirement havens to legitimate tech hubs rising from desert sand. So grab your sunscreen, subscribe to the channel, and let's tour America's most extreme real estate markets where the weather is always hot and the housing market is questionable. Coming in dead last at number 10, Las Cruces is the city that proves you can have both a university and a NASA test facility and still somehow rank dead last nationally in job growth. This Chihuahuan desert town sits in the shadow of the Oregon mountains, looking picturesque while hemorrhaging residents faster than a punctured radiator. With median home prices around $358,000 and income stuck at $52,000, Las Cruces has perfected the art of being affordable because nobody with options wants to stay. The average salary caps out at $53,000, not the starting point, the ceiling. Meanwhile, employment has been shrinking while other cities are adding jobs, creating a reverse gold rush where people flee to Texas and Colorado like they're escaping a natural disaster. The city sits near White Sands National Park, which is gorgeous for Instagram but doesn't pay the bills. Retirees show up for the low property taxes and mild winters, but working-age residents treat Las Cruces like a launching pad to somewhere better. The persistent outmigration means you're basically investing in a city that its own residents are trying to escape. Even Mother Nature seems unimpressed. Summers hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit while winter winds whip across the desert with enough force to relocate your patio furniture. New Mexico State University provides some stability, but when your city's biggest employer is desperately trying to keep students from leaving after graduation, you know you've got problems that go deeper than weather. Number 9 brings us Yuma, which holds the Guinness World Record for being America's sunniest city, a distinction that sounds amazing until you realize it's basically bragging about living inside a convection oven. With over 300 sunny days per year and summer temperatures that make Death Valley look temperate, Yuma is what happens when someone mistakes solar radiation for paradise. At $294,000 for a median home, Yuma looks like a bargain until your first electric bill arrives. Air conditioning isn't a luxury here, it's life support. The local economy depends on seasonal agriculture and Yuma Proving Ground military base, which means your career options are basically pick lettuce or test weapons, neither of which screams thriving metropolis. Recent reports highlight a dire housing shortage for the farm workers who actually keep this place running, while heat-related health emergencies make regular news. When your city's main selling point becomes a public health hazard for several months each year, maybe it's time to reconsider the marketing strategy. Yuma exists because the Colorado River made agriculture possible, not because anyone thought this would be a delightful place to raise a family. It's the economic equivalent of a company town, except the company is the sun, and it's a very demanding boss. Perfect for people whose idea of seasonal variation is unbearably hot versus merely oppressive. At number 8, El Centro proves that being in California doesn't automatically make you desirable. Sometimes it just makes you expensive and disappointing simultaneously. Sitting in the Imperial Valley where the desert meets Mexico, El Centro manages to combine California's cost of living with unemployment rates that would embarrass a Rust Belt city. With median homes at $279,000 and incomes around $56,000, the math almost works until you factor in unemployment that regularly spikes above 20%. 20%. That's not a recession, that's a regional economic collapse wearing a Welcome to California sign. The poverty rate also hovers near 20%, while residents dream of escaping to literally anywhere else. El Centro's economy depends entirely on agriculture and cross-border trade, making it vulnerable to weather, politics, and global supply chains simultaneously. When your city's economic foundation consists of hope it rains, and hope Congress doesn't change trade policy, you're basically playing economic roulette with desert house stakes. The infrastructure feels like it was designed by someone who got distracted halfway through the project. One small hospital serves the entire region. Roads crack under desert heat faster than they can be repaired, and public transit exists more in theory than practice. Population has been declining as even longtime residents decide that California dreaming works better somewhere else. Number 7 gives us Hemet, the city that turned the California retirement dream into a cautionary tale. Once marketed as an affordable alternative for retirees seeking California sunshine, Hemet has earned the brutal nickname Gated Ghetto from national media. And honestly, that might be generous. With 23% of residents living in poverty while median homes cost $442,000, down 1.9% because even the housing market is trying to escape. Hemet represents everything that can go wrong with retirement destination planning. The local economy collapsed when manufacturing left decades ago, leaving behind retirees on fixed incomes, service workers, and retail establishments that close faster than they open. Crime rates embarrass state averages while infrastructure crumbles from decades of deferred maintenance. The air quality suffers from San Jacinto Valley pollution, internet service ranges from spotty to Stone Age, and Riverside Transit's presence is more theoretical than functional. When your public transportation system requires faith-based scheduling, you know municipal planning has gone sideways. Hemet sits where the Mojave and Sonoran Desert meet, which sounds poetic until you're living through 100-degree summers with poor air quality and limited medical facilities. The city attracts people seeking California living at discount prices, then delivers exactly what discounted California looks like, all the costs with none of the benefits that usually justify them. Sliding into number 6, Lancaster represents the heartbreak of California dreaming on a budget. Located in the Antelope Valley, where the Mojave Desert meets suburban sprawl, Lancaster attracts people who want Los Angeles County addresses without Los Angeles County paychecks. A mathematical impossibility that plays out in real time across the community. Median homes cost around $470,000, down 5.9% year over year as reality sets in, while over 23% of residents live in poverty. The job market consists mainly of blue-collar work and retail positions that don't pay enough to justify California costs, even at Lancaster's reduced rates. Schools stay chronically underfunded while gang activity and drug problems make regular headlines across Southern California. Lancaster started as an aerospace town but never successfully transitioned when that industry moved elsewhere. What remains feels like a community caught between its ambitious past and its struggling present, where residents commute increasingly longer distances for work that pays enough to justify staying. The Santa Ana winds whip through regularly, creating dust storms that make you question whether you're living in California or on Mars. Summer temperatures top 100 degrees Fahrenheit, while the infrastructure, from Mojave Transit to high-speed internet, feels like it's perpetually stuck in beta testing. Population decline continues as residents realize that geographic proximity to opportunity isn't the same as actual access to it. Breaking into the best cities at number 5, Reno represents the evolution of desert city success from gambling town to legitimate tech hub. With home prices averaging $560,000 and median household income reaching $78,000, the numbers actually make sense together. A rarity in today's housing market. Tesla's Gigafactory arrival catalyzed broader tech sector growth, creating genuine economic diversification beyond gaming and tourism. The combination of no state income tax, proximity to Lake Tahoe recreation, and access to California markets without California regulations attracts both companies and workers fleeing coastal costs. Reno offers clean air most of the year, though wildfire smoke can be problematic in summer. Winters bring actual snow and four-season variety, while summers hit the mid-90s, but remain more tolerable than lower desert cities. Water comes from Sierra snowpack via the Truckee River, providing more sustainable supply than Colorado River-dependent cities. Infrastructure includes quality healthcare with renown in St. Mary's hospitals, a functional regional airport, and improving transit options that suggest a city investing in its future rather than just maintaining its present. The rising cost of living reflects increasing desirability rather than artificial scarcity or speculation. Reno succeeds by attracting the California exodus demographic, professionals and businesses seeking lower costs, better regulations, and outdoor recreation access. The city has earned its rising national rankings through economic diversification and quality of life improvements that justify premium pricing compared to traditional Nevada standards. At number 4, El Paso is the desert city that quietly does everything right while flashier destinations grab headlines. With average home values around $229,000 and median household income at $54,000, El Paso offers something increasingly rare: housing costs that actually align with local wages. The economy balances cross-border trade through USMCA agreements, Fort Bliss military presence, healthcare anchored by Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center, and education via UTEP. Employment grew 1.0% year-to-date in 2025, with unemployment at only 4.1%, numbers that suggest genuine stability rather than boom-bust cycles. El Paso maintains impressively low crime rates while providing quality healthcare at Memorial Hermann, functional light rail transit, and border infrastructure that supports the trade-based economy. The city attracts retirees with low property taxes and working families with steady employment opportunities that don't require explaining to your relatives why you moved somewhere nobody's heard of. Higher elevation provides cooling nights even when summer days exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, making the heat more manageable than lower desert locations. The Chihuahuan desert setting offers dramatic mountain views without the isolation that plagues smaller desert communities. El Paso's affordability stems from conservative, planned growth rather than economic collapse or municipal failure. The city proves that desert living can be both affordable and sensible when local government focuses on fundamentals rather than flashy marketing campaigns. Number 3 brings us Tucson, the desert city that figured out how to combine affordability with actual livability. With home prices averaging $390,000 to $480,000 and cost of living about 5% below national averages, Tucson provides desert living without requiring financial martyrdom. The University of Arizona anchors an economy that includes aerospace giants like Raytheon, growing tech sectors, and healthcare systems that serve the broader region. Unlike cities that depend on single industries, Tucson has built economic diversity that creates resilience when individual sectors struggle. Tucson attracts retirees and second home buyers with dramatic saguaro desert scenery and winters that make northern visitors weep with envy. The infrastructure includes solid healthcare facilities, an international airport, and expanding fiber internet that makes remote work actually feasible. Housing demand has kept prices rising 4 to 6% annually, suggesting buyers see improving value rather than stagnation or decline. The combination of university culture, retiree amenities, and growing job opportunities creates a community that works for multiple demographics simultaneously. Summers still deliver oppressive 100-degree temperatures, and water remains finite with supplies dependent on Colorado River allocations. Schools perform inconsistently across the district, and some neighborhoods lag behind in development and services. But Tucson represents what affordable desert living looks like when it's done right: genuine value rather than cheap desperation. Claiming number 2, Phoenix proves that desert cities can actually scale up successfully when they're built with real economic foundations. This Sonoran desert metropolis expanded its tech workforce by 5.6% from 2021 to 2024, while producing 6,000 tech graduates annually. Numbers that represent genuine economic diversification, not just wishful thinking. Median home prices near $600,000, with cost of living about 7 to 13% above national averages, reflect actual demand rather than artificial scarcity. The city offers abundant healthcare through major medical centers, excellent highway systems, and Sky Harbor International Airport that connects to everywhere that matters. Phoenix attracts everyone from retirees seeking golf and sunshine to young professionals building tech careers, creating economic diversity that smaller desert cities can't match. Major sports teams, cultural attractions, and urban amenities provide lifestyle options that justify the premium pricing. Climate challenges remain serious. Summers routinely exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit, with studies predicting 30 to 40% more 115-degree days by 2050. Water supply faces strain from Colorado river cuts, but Phoenix's size and economic clout provide resources for adaptation that smaller cities lack. Phoenix succeeds where other desert cities fail by building actual economic foundations rather than relying solely on climate appeal. When you can offer high-paying jobs, cultural attractions, and genuine urban sophistication, the heat becomes tolerable rather than deal-breaking for most residents willing to invest in serious air conditioning. Taking the top spot, Las Vegas proves that a city built on artificial everything can sometimes deliver authentic livability. With median home prices around $448,000 and cost of living roughly at national averages, Vegas offers more than just slot machines and Elvis impersonators, though those are still readily available. The economy has successfully diversified beyond gaming into conventions, emerging tech sectors, and service industries, all supported by Nevada's complete lack of state income tax. Major hospitals, expanded public transit, and fiber internet that actually works create infrastructure that supports modern living rather than just tourist visits. Vegas attracts an interesting mix: retirees seeking year-round entertainment, remote workers who want urban amenities in a desert setting, and service industry professionals who can actually afford to live where they work. The city provides genuine urban sophistication that most desert communities can only dream about. Climate reality can't be sugar-coated. Heat-related deaths exceeded 500 in 2024, and water scarcity from shrinking Lake Mead threatens everything. Federal forecasts predict unprecedented water cuts by 2027, potentially making current affordability temporary. When your city depends on a disappearing lake for survival, long-term planning gets complicated. The housing market has cooled recently, but population and employment continue growing. Vegas succeeds by offering actual urban amenities and job diversity that most desert cities lack, plus tax advantages that make the calculator-carrying crowd happy. It's the rare desert city that delivers on both lifestyle promises and economic opportunities. So there you have it. From Las Cruces' economic exodus at the bottom to Las Vegas' entertainment empire at the top. Before you pack your bags for endless sunshine, ask yourself some hard questions. Can you handle 115-degree summers without losing your mind? Is your career portable enough to survive in markets where opportunities might be limited? How much are you willing to pay for air conditioning? And what happens when the water runs out? Some of these lower-ranked cities might surprise you with hidden strengths: El Paso's surprising stability, Tucson's university culture, even Vegas's genuine urban infrastructure. But if you're betting your future on desert living, choosing cities with diverse economies and real foundations makes more sense than chasing cheap housing in places where cheap housing exists for very good reasons. What do you think? Are you ready to trade snow for scorpions? Or does this list have you appreciating your current climate? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more brutally honest takes on America's most extreme real estate markets.